Good morning. I'm Jenna Wright with News Channel 3,987,436, and you're watching Econ Recon. Today, we're going to talk about global economics. Grasping global economic concepts is important for understanding international relations. Today, we have an exclusive interview with expert global economist Ty Fountain, who has agreed to answer a few questions about this topic. Welcome, Mr. Fountain.
Thanks for having me on.
So for our first question, globalization is a term that is increasingly associated with economics. Could you explain what globalization really is?
Globalization is the word used to describe the growing interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and populations. It is brought about by cross-border trades in goods and services, technology and flows of investment, people and information. Countries have built economic partnerships to facilitate these movements over many centuries.
And what are some effects of globalization?
The long-term effects of globalization are complex and politically charged. Similar to some major technological advances, globalization benefits society as a whole while harming certain groups. On an individual level, globalization affects both the standard of life and the quality of life. On a business level, globalization affects an organization's product life cycle and an organization's balance sheet. Globalization also affects how governments throughout the world create policies affecting areas such as mandatory regulation and trade. For many developing countries, globalization has led to an improvement in standard of living. However, globalization has had a negative effect on individuals who live in developed nations and can cause unemployment.
So here in the United States, we are familiar with NAFTA, which is the North American Free Trade Agreement, which is an agreement between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico to trade without tariffs or restrictions. However, there's also something called fair trade. Is that the same thing as free trade?
No, they are completely different. Fair trade is not the same. Fair trade places restrictions on farmers and producers. It forces them to pay minimum wages, adopt safe working conditions, and pay lip service to planetary protection. Free trade, it removes all boundaries from all parties. It affords unrestrained international export and import, free from taxes, tariffs, worker protections, or pesky minimum wages. Basically, free trade's main goal is to increase the nation's economic growth, while free trade empowers marginalized people and improves the quality of their life.
So do you think major world powers like the United States should enforce fair trade policies, or do you think they should stay out of other countries' business?
I believe that major world powers like the U.S. should set an example for other countries by participating in free trade. A country's economy is so influential, so boycotting companies or countries where workers are not treated fairly and pressuring other nations to do the same could secure better working conditions and help lift people out of poverty.
So what would you say are the top 3 most serious economic problems in the world today?
All economic problems stem from one issue that faces society: the simple fact that our resources are scarce and unequally distributed. There are several economic decisions that have to be made due to the scarcity of resources. 3 of these decisions are the allocation of resources, production methods, and the distribution of product. In other words, they have to decide what they are going to produce with these resources, how they are going to make their products, and who will receive these products. All of these decisions affect the economic efficiency of the country. Economic efficiency is defined as achieving maximum well-being of the population, meaning that no changes in production or distribution could increase the overall well-being of the people.
What makes you say that?
Well, first of all, most countries severely underutilize their resources, meaning that their production is far from efficient. Also, no country is perfect. None of them will be able to make the right decision all the time. Resources can be easily used to produce a good that will not help improve the lives of people. Many of the productions that are used today are also ineffective, wasting valuable resources. The biggest issue preventing economic efficiency is the unequal distribution of the products. This inequality mostly results from inequalities in property ownership and income. People with higher incomes can purchase more of the national product.
So how do these problems impact society and international relations?
The economy can go in recession and people could face job loss. Job loss affects children's education, living arrangements, social activities, and even fertility. Being let go of your job means that some families are not able to pay for their children's college. If jobs can't be found, people avoid spending unnecessary money on big trips, but instead find entertainment doing free stuff like walks and board games, stuff for the whole family. When the economy is flourishing, there are plenty of jobs for people. Children are being educated and families are taking vacations. Everyone helps everyone, and most businesses get the money they need to stay in business.
Now that we have discussed the many economic problems facing the world, what are some potential solutions that prevent crises from occurring in the future?
Well, the United States is the most generous country when it comes to foreign aid. As you can see from this 2014 chart depicting the major providers of foreign aid. However, the process is complicated. Our foreign aid would be much more effective if it were streamlined to one organization with fewer objectives. These objectives should focus on the national security and development of at-risk countries. In order to prevent further crises, foreign aid should be quickly deployed to areas that face economic crisis, like a drought that destroys crops. This will prevent the outbreak of violence and state failure from occurring. Of course, there are also solutions beyond foreign aid. Private organizations and businesses are important to the economic growth and strengthening of countries through the development of job opportunities through entrepreneurship.
You mentioned the importance of providing aid for the development of at-risk countries. So what does this development look like?
One of the key types of development that is a part of foreign aid is the development of a country's infrastructure. The chief economics and senior vice president of the World Bank, Justin Yifu Lin, knows that if African countries have a similar level of infrastructure like Malaysia, the African income can be increased 2.1% per year. And if they reach the level of Korea, the growth rate of African income can be increased to 2.7% per year. Developing the infrastructure builds the economy of a nation, but can also help alleviate the effects of an economic crisis by helping with the distribution of emergency aid.
Well, Mr. Fountain, thank you so much for coming on Econ Recon and explaining global economics to myself and to our audience.
It was my pleasure.
That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching. I'm Jenna Wright with News Channel 3,987,436. Tune in to Econ Recon tomorrow to find out if you can protect your investments during a bear market with salmon. Have a nice day.